Hi there, this is Dan Stewart from Bud's Imported Cars in Oakville, Ontario. Just wanted to do a video here on the feature tutorial of this absolutely beautiful Firenze Red 2022 Range Rover Sport autobiography. So as you can see here, the mirror is in the normal position. So I have the key in my pocket, and in order to lock it, all the doors will have this little circle on it. You just place your finger in there. You'll see the mirror will power fold, and that signifies that the vehicle is in fact locked. All four doors have the same feature. Now for unlocking it, all you do is simply put your hand on the inside of the door handle, and it has a sensor there that will automatically unlock the vehicle. I'm just gonna hop in here. I'm gonna go through some of the features on this vehicle. Adjust the steering wheel so we can see this a little bit better. So I'm just going to start on the left side here, so you'll see this is your memory position seating. So as soon as the seat, the exterior mirrors, and the steering wheel is set up appropriately, you're just going to press M. You'll see that little light come on, and then you press 1 and it will say memory 1 settings saved on the dash there. You have 2 and 3 there for other drivers, and of course your power door lock system is there as well. I'm going to explain these buttons up here as well, because lots of people ask about what these are. This is your power exterior mirror adjustment, so you'll just select the mirror on the corresponding side, use the 4-way power adjustable knob there. This will power fold the mirrors. If you press that, you'll see it now goes in. If I press it again, it folds it back out. This is putting the vehicle into what's called access mode. Now the vehicle is already lowered right now into the access mode. So down here in the middle, you'll see this is showing you that. We're selected for the 2 inches lower, which is called access mode. If I press this, now it's gonna raise us back up to the standard ride height, or when you drive away and you hit 20 kilometers an hour, it's going to automatically raise you to that height, and it will notify you on the dash as well. So I don't know why Land Rover has done this, but basically it's another way to put the car into access mode. So now when I press this, you'll see it says access height selected right on the dash there, and we are in fact lowered down after a few seconds there. This is a child door lock system. When I select that, it will say rear child security on, and that will disengage the use of the rear windows and the rear doors from the inside specifically. So it's just a child door lock system. So when I press this, it will take it off. That's all of the features on the buttons up there. Now this is an autobiography, so it does have the extended veneer finisher. So if I fold this down, you do have a little bit of extra storage there. That's an option that's equipped on this car. Your headlights are in the automatic position. Now they are a bit of a funny way that they work, but with this little line, or sorry, this little dot selected, that means that you are in the automatic position. Now if I turn this forward and I leave it in auto, it's just going to go back to that. So they've set it up this way so that in the event that you're firing up the car and it's pitch black outside and you forget to turn on your headlights, it will automatically do it for you. So when you leave it there, don't have to worry about it. It does everything for you. Now, if I turn on the headlights like this, now the headlights are on. I can click this forward, and that's going to turn on your front fog lights. Click it forward again, it turns off your rear, front fog lights. And then you have rear fog lights, which when you click it backwards, this little light over here, that orange one there, that's telling you that your rear fog lights are on. I'm just going to click it backwards again, and that will turn it off. So that's how that one works. You do have a trip computer that's at the end of the turn signal here. If I tap this, you'll see at the very bottom there, that's going to show you fuel efficiency information with throttle pressure, speed, and brake pressure. When those are all lit up in green, you'll see what will happen is it's indicating that you're getting the absolute best fuel efficiency that you can. If I tap it again, it's just going to turn it off. Press it again, we've got the date. We've got the trip A, which if you want to gauge how far you're driving on a certain journey, you can do it there. To reset it, you have to press and hold the button. It'll say resetting. You have to continue holding it, and then it will go to 0. So now it's reset to 0. Then you have average speed. You have average fuel efficiency, distance to empty. Or sorry, average liters per 100 kilometers consumed, and then distance to empty is after that. On the steering wheel, there's a menu button that's right here. If we press this, there's a menu that pops up there. Now, first thing on there is display, and you can change the info panel, which is actually the screen that we're looking at right now. Between the two gauges, you can select whichever one you want. So right now it's set for off, but for example, let's say I want to see the navigation map, I'll select map, and then on the controls here, when I press up, it will close it. Now I've got the navigation menu in the middle there. So you can select whichever one you want. I'm just gonna press the menu button again. It's gonna bring it up again, and I'm gonna go to layout. You can change the entire dash layout to, let's say for example, you want the full map on this entire digital display. I'm gonna select that. Now it's changed the menu. So I'm just gonna click up, and then it will close the side menu. And now I've got a really good picture of what the head-up display looks like, but in your dash instead. And it's showing you all your pertinent driving information at the bottom. So distance, empty, speed, kilometers on the car, fuel level, all that stuff. So I'm just gonna go back into the menu, and I'm just going to adjust the layout to the traditional 2-gauge layout. Now I've selected that, and if I go left, now it'll bring me back a menu. You can also change the units, so that's like liters per 100 kilometers versus miles per gallon. And then off-road information is for the navigation. That is checked off right now. And then if you're going into language, you can just change that as well. I'm just realizing that I'm probably going to want to change that to US English, so I'm just going to update that. And then if I go left again, it's going to bring me to the top. So I'm going to go to the next menu, which is vehicle settings. So under security features, you have a number of features that you can adjust in here. Audible lock warning. In the event that your key is left inside the vehicle, or if the hood is partially latched or one of the doors is partially latched and you're trying to lock it from the outside, the car will do a little double honk sound. So that's activated right now. And then you have 2-stage unlocking. So 2-stage unlocking is when you're coming out to the vehicle and you pull on the door handle, you can have just the driver's door unlock, or you can have all the doors unlock. So I'm going to disengage that, and now all the doors will unlock. And then drive away locking, the car is set to lock the doors once you hit 8 kilometers an hour. Exterior lighting, if I go into that, I'm going to activate the automatic high beam assist. That's just the instance where you're driving around, there's no street lights. It's going to automatically turn on and off your high beams depending on incoming light conditions. Driving side, you want to make sure, because we live in Canada here, we are using drive on the right side. Headlamp delay, when you shut off the car, you can have the headlights stay on for a certain period of time, so it's set for 30 seconds right now. I'm just going to go left again, and it will go. I'm going to go down to convenience features. Reverse dip mirror, this is the feature where the exterior mirrors can go down automatically when you put the car in reverse. So if I activate that, it will just do it automatically. When you're in reverse, you can just adjust the mirrors to where they will go to when you are in reverse. Window global open and global close, that is a feature on the key fob. You can press and hold the unlock button for 5 seconds, and it will automatically put down all the windows. Press and hold the lock button, and it will put up all the windows. Auto access height is a really great feature. When you are done your journey, put the car in park, you shut it off, you go to get out of the car, and it will automatically lower down the vehicle by 2 inches. So it just makes it a little easier to get in and out of the vehicle. And then again, when you drive away, it'll just raise you back up to the standard ride height again. Wiper settings, if I tap on this, the auto wipe is activated. So on the left stalk here, if I tap this down once, it's just gonna do one simple wipe of the front windshield there. And then if I click it up, you are activating the automatic rain sensing wipers. Now you can adjust the sensitivity of the sensors right here. And then the rear wiper is right here, intermittent and on. And then to spray the front, you'll pull this lever towards you. To spray the rear, you'll press the button at the end. If you ever forget that, it's just indicated right here with how that works. So again, I'm in the auto position, so a constant low would be next, and then a constant high would be at the very highest setting of the stock. Going back over to the menu here, I'm just going to press this, and if we go into the convenience features, we will have one thing left there, gear shift paddles. So you can have it active in drive and sport mode, or just sport mode only. So this feature is pertaining to the left and right paddle shifters that are there to change the gears automatically or manually. Now, The reason why they have this is because if you're turning the steering wheel and you accidentally hit one of these paddle shifters on either side, then it's going to go into a manual shifting mode. So it's good to keep it in the sport mode only, because if in the event that you happen to tap it, it will stay in the automatic position. I'm just going to go back a menu again here. If we go back up to the very top, the next one is the vehicle information. That's where you get the tire pressure, the oil level, the last time the alarm went off, and the full vehicle VIN. The media, you can control all the audio information from there, or you can use the upper touchscreen, or I'll show you later how to do it from the lower touchscreen as well. And then driver assistance. So if we go into the collision avoidance, you have Forward Alert, which is a system that warns you of oncoming traffic. And in the event that someone abruptly slows down in front of you, the car will beep and flash, and then you can have the second feature activate, which is down here, AEB, automatic emergency braking. So again, in that same instance, if you don't press the brakes in time, it's going to start to apply the brakes in order to mitigate an accident. Blind spot monitor system is engaged. I'll briefly explain how that works. This tiny little light over in the mirror, this little orange one right there, what that's telling you is that the system is temporarily off because the vehicle is not in motion. As soon as you put it in drive and you hit 20 kilometers an hour, it's going to go off and there'll be no light in the mirror at all. When someone's in your blind spot, there'll be a much larger light that appears with a picture of a car and another car in its blind spot. You'll sometimes see it fully illuminated, and when it is fully illuminated, it will tell you that someone's in your blind spot. Sometimes you'll see it rapidly flashing, and when it's rapidly flashing, that means someone's not quite there, but they could be there soon in terms of your blind spot. So going back into this menu here, going back into collision avoidance, cross traffic monitor, forward and reverse. So when you're pulling out of a tight laneway and there's cars coming on either side of the vehicle, you can have it warn you with a beeping in order to tell you that it's not a safe time to pull out. And conversely, when you're in like a busy, parking lot, if you're backing your car out and there's cars coming on either side of the vehicle, it can warn you the exact same way. So super handy safety feature there. And then again, I'm just going to go back to the top here. I'm going to go left, and then steering assistance. So we do have lane keep assist available with this car. So I just turned it on. You'll see this little lane thing that popped up here. So those lines need to be green in order for you to know that the system is actually activated. Right now it's trying to find the lane, but it won't be able to find it because I'm not in motion at all. And then you can change the settings. So you can have it vibrate the steering wheel when you're drifting out of a lane without your turn signal on, or you can have it steer assist. So when you're drifting out of the lane, it'll just gently turn the steering wheel to try and keep it in the lane. You can easily override it if you wish. But yeah, so most people prefer the vibrate, so I'll just leave it as the vibrate for the time being. And if I go left, speed limit awareness, this is just going to show you the traffic sign recognition option, and then you can have it warn you once you've hit the speed limit, gone 10 over or 20 over, going left, and then driver condition monitor. So in the event that you're driving home sleepy, if you're consistently drifting out of the lane without your turn signal on, it'll just warn you on the dash there. It will say time to take a break. I'm going to go up to the very top here, next one to the right. Trip bank, that's just going to show you trip A and trip B, and then the trip content is changing your kilometers and miles there. And then if I go over one more time, we're back to the very beginning, which is display. So I'm just going to click up there. That's going to close that menu. We're back to the navigation there. And then on your steering wheel, you have your volume, your track and tuning. This is also touch sensitive. So if I turn on the audio system, which is just over here, I'm going to press this button. You can change the volume right here, but you can also change it with touch sensitive just by rolling your thumb like this, and it will go up and down just like so, right? So you can adjust it however which way you prefer. And this diamond button you can customize in a number of different ways. So when I press it on the screen here, you'll see it says short press and long press. So if I press this, you can choose cancel guidance for the navigation, next source for the audio, mute, all these other things that are all active whenever you choose to activate them. So until you select something from that menu, it won't do anything. And then again, a long press of this same diamond button, it will do a different function that you choose as well. This voice command button you can use for a number of different things. Probably the most handy I find is when you have your phone plugged in, you can have the Apple CarPlay activated or Android Auto activated, and you can use the voice command system from the phone. So if you want to use Siri, you can use that. It's super handy when you do have your phone plugged in. This, of course, will pick up and hang up your phone calls. On the right side of the steering wheel here, you have your cruise control. And again, the lane keep assist, you can have that turned on and off. When it's illuminated in orange, that means it's active. Cancels for the cruise, and then here you can activate a speed limiter function. When I press this, you'll see on the dash here, when I start pressing set to program the speed, you'll see on the dash there, I've now set it so that the car is electronically governed to 48 kilometers an hour. So most people don't really care for this feature, so just make sure that's always turned off. This right here is your heated steering wheel. And then on the right side, you'll see your power steering column. So this little knob here, you just push it up, down, in, out, and you can adjust the steering wheel accordingly. So moving over to the upper touchscreen here, there's a number of things to show. You'll see right now the screen is completely flush with the dash. If I press on the settings button right here, you'll see a menu pop up, and I can adjust the screen angle right here. So depending on sun conditions, this is kind of handy to use. You can also choose the display theme, which right now it's set for dark. You can have it light background or auto, which is light during the day and dark during the night. And then you can change the brightness right here. There's also home settings where you can change the wallpaper. This is kind of a fun thing to play around with if you just want to customize what the background screen looks like. So you can fiddle around with that if you wish. If I go back into the settings button again, you can go under all settings, or you can go under audio settings there as well. You can adjust many different things in the vehicle. One thing I'm just going to do right now, because I'm noticing the car is set for a 24-hour clock, I'm going to go into all settings. I will tap on general. I will go time and date and select 12 hours right there. So I've just switched the time. Now going into the navigation, there is an update that's available for the map here. You can just do it over the air, super easy to do. You can see your nearby gas stations. You can also turn on your commute, so it learns your commute, and then when you hop in the car, it'll know your habits. And so if 9 o'clock every morning you're driving to work, it's going to tell you your estimated time of arrival for your daily commute that you're doing. Now, if you want to type in a destination, you just press the 6 boxes right here. You'll press on search. Now, you can just type the address right here. I actually like to press this little crossroad sign button right here. When I tap that, it's going to bring us into a slightly different screen that will auto-populate what we're typing in. So when I press OA, it'll fill it in and say, are you trying to type in Oakville? I'll just press search, select it from the list, and it makes it a little quicker, right? So once I start typing in the name of the street, I can just press search. I'm looking for John Street, and then the house number, I'm just going to type in 123, okay. It'll press, you can press show place details if that's the correct location. And then you'll see it shows you the estimated time of arrival, and it will give you alternative route options that are available there as well. So if you press route options, you can see that there's 2 different ways to the location I just selected. You just press start. And as soon as you meet up with the road, it gives you all the turn-by-turn directions. Now, if I go back into the nav menu right here, I can press stop guidance, and that will cancel it. That's pretty much how you use the navigation system. Pretty straightforward. Your quick access buttons are right here. This will bring you to your home address, which actually I'll show you super quick. If I just go back into the nav menu and I press your destinations, you can program your home address or your favorites right here. You can program it there, or when you're in the destination input, you can tap a star and it will add it to your favorite list. If I go into the audio, just gonna turn this down a little bit. If I press on source, this is going to give you all your different available audio inputs. Favorites, if I tap on a star, that's going to allow me, well, I don't think I pressed that properly. It's going to allow me to add it to my favorite channel list. Now I'm listening to satellite radio right now, so it's just going to add it to that list. And then if I press on find, that's going to see the full list of channels that are available. You can search by genre, and you can also search the direct channel there as well. Over the phone, you can very easily pair your Bluetooth. You just have to go into your settings and search for Range Rover Sport, and it will show you the option right there. You just select it and then press yes on the screen. Super straightforward. Now, moving down to the lower touchscreen, a few things to show. So right now I'm selected for climate, which is selected at the top left here. You have seats. If I tap in the middle here, this will allow you to control the audio from the lower touchscreen. And then if I swipe to the right, this will allow you to control your phone from the lower touchscreen as well. Just another way of doing it. Going back over to the climate, you have two different levels of ionization to purify the air. Right now the first one is on, but if you want the second level of purification, you can just tap this one and it's going to draw the air from the inside of the vehicle. It's going to ionize it and put it back into the vehicle. Just going to press that to turn it back off. You have your different vents that are selected for the driver and the passenger. If you want to control the rear seats, you just tap that and you can lock it so that the kids can't be playing around with the controls that are in the back seat there. You can turn it on and off from here and select the vents there as well. Now, while you're in the climate screen, if you wanted to control your seat climate, you just press this little circle here. You can do the cooled seats, or you can do the heated seats, and then press it again. It goes back to air climate. Another way of doing it is just by pressing on seats. Now, this is an autobiography, so it does have massage seat articulation. So if I tap on this, I can turn it on. I've got the 5 different levels of intensity. And if I tap on the seat, I can choose 5 different types of massage there as well. So you can choose to use that if you wish. Obviously, you can do the exact same for the passenger seat there as well. Going over into vehicle, there's a number of different driving modes. Now it's selected for auto. So if I tap auto, it's going to take it off that and I can select whichever driving program that I wish. Right here is dynamic mode, and that's going to release a more performance-oriented type of drive with the vehicle. So that's going to tighten up the suspension, tighten up the steering ratio, quicken the gear shifting as well. Eco is going to maximize your fuel efficiency. It can save you up to 5% fuel efficiency depending on your driving style. There's comfort, grass, gravel, snow, mud, sand, and rock. Now, the nice part about this car is that it does have the terrain response too. So if I just tap this, it's going to put me in the auto mode, which will automatically select the appropriate program depending on how I'm driving the car and the road conditions at the time as well. Now, again, being that this is a autobiography V8, you see this little race car helmet. If I tap on this, you'll see it's only available in dynamic programs. So I've got to press this again, and now it's going to take it off, and I'm going to press dynamic. And you can change exactly what dynamic means to you. So you've got comfort or dynamic for the engine, the gear shift, the suspension, and the steering. So if I tap, it's going to change it into dynamic. So you can have it customized to whatever your preference is. So if you wanted dynamic engine, gear shift, and suspension, but you wanted to keep the steering a little bit more soft, you can tap that and change it as well. You also have a stopwatch if you're going around the track. You can also see your G-forces when you're going around the track and your throttle and brake pressure on a graph as well. You do have off-road information that's available with the car as well. So if I tap that, you'll see, for example, I can press off-road information. This is just getting a little bit technical, but you can see how the travel in the suspension is depending on the type of terrain. And then there's 2 different differentials that you can lock or unlock. You could see the status of it depending on what driving mode you've selected. So for example, if you select rock, it's going to lock both of those to give you the maximum amount of torque that's available as well. If I tap this, it's going to give you the grade of the level of floor that you're driving on or the type of terrain. So it'll show you whether you're going up, down, sideways, whatever it is. It gives you a better idea of the terrain that you're on. And then of course you have the compass, and this will give you a description of all the different driving modes that are available as well. So you can tap on whichever one you want. Right now we're in the dynamic, so it's just giving you the description of the dynamic there. If I tap on the camera, this car is equipped with the surround camera. Now, one thing that's important to show is when your vehicle is equipped with the surround camera, you have to program it to pop up every time I put the car in reverse. So if I press settings here, I'm going to go into camera settings, and then you want to go default camera view selection. Instead of saying list, I want to tap that and go 360. Now, every time I put the car in reverse, it's going to show both the backup camera and it's going to show the surround camera, and then over here it'll show you the 360 parking sensors on the car as well. Now, moving back down to the lower touchscreen, it's important that I show this button as well, settings. You have display, so every time you turn on the car, you can choose what you want showing on the lower touchscreen. So right now it's set for climate, but you can select anything you want here. If I go into climate, you can choose the auto on for the heated windshield, the heated rear window, the auto sun blind. So every time you turn the car on, you can have the sun blind open, and then conversely, when you turn the car off, it will close the sun blind. So that's activated right now. I'll turn these on as well because they're nice for the winter time. And then when you have the climate system set for auto, you can choose the way that that works. So instead of the vents just going crazy at max speed, you can tap this and choose soft and quiet, or balanced for comfort, or strong and powerful to make it a little bit more fast for the temperature that you're selecting. Air purity, you can choose the way that the cabin air ionization system works. So right now it's set for medium, but if you do want a higher level of purification, you could just press high or low, whatever you wish. If I tap on seats here, you can have an auto massage feature activated. Now, again, because this is an autobiography, you can have it programmed so that after, for example, 5 minutes of driving, it's just going to automatically turn on the massage seats. So depending on whatever you prefer there, it can freak out people, but that's also a fun thing to do from time to time. Your fan speed control for the climate system is just right here. When you tap that, you just turn this left and right, and you'll see the fan speed control adjust accordingly. Press it again, it just goes back to the passenger climate. This is max air. You have to press and hold it for this button to work. That's for the max defrost, putting everything at the front windshield there. So if you just tap it briefly once, it won't do anything. You have to press and hold it for a couple seconds. This is max AC, same thing with that. I'm just going to turn that off because we don't need that on right now. Now, I kind of already explained the air ride suspension, so obviously you just press up and down. You can, from the standard ride height, you can raise it 2 inches or lower it 2 inches. This is a 4-wheel drive low. The car does have a proper 4-wheel drive system, so the car does have to be in neutral, and then you can select this and you will get a completely different gear set that gives you significantly more torque, and it's better off-road maneuverability. So only time you'd be doing that is if you're doing slow maneuvering off-road and intense terrain. It's meant for under 50 kilometers an hour speed driving. Any other time you want that off because it's 4-wheel drive high and it's much better at higher speeds. This is a hill descent control button, which again, being Land Rover, it's fully capable with all the off-road technology. This is very, very cool if you're going down an extremely steep hill in which you would take your foot off of the brake and it would send you down a hill too fast. When you press this, it moderates the brakes at a very, very slow pace and can safely descend you down the hill. This is a button that's called All Surface Progress Control. It's like a low-speed cruise control. In the event that you're unsure what the traction will be like on the surface that you're driving on, you can press this. You use the set button and decelerate button to program a speed between 10 and 30 kilometers an hour, and the car will very slowly and sure-footedly give you an acceleration forward. This allows you to focus primarily just on the steering while the car very slowly accelerates, moderating how the traction from the tires to the ground works. You can deactivate it anytime just by pressing the brakes. This will turn off your traction and stability control system. Only time you'd want to do that is if you're ever stuck in snow or mud. Any other time you want that system on because it's a very big safety feature. Right here you have your cup holders, but if you slide it forward, you do have a little hidden storage compartment. Kind of hard to see in there, but there is a micro USB which you can use for charging there as well. In here we do have a center console cooler box. Again, this is an autobiography, so it would come with a feature like this. And you've got 2 different levels. Now this is actually the refrigerator, and you know that because it's got 2 different levels for this. So when I press it again, it goes to the low setting, or press it again and it will turn off. There's 2 USBs here for the audio system. This is a micro SD card for the data, for your data plan. Basically, you've got a basic data plan which will come with the warranty of the car, producing things like the live traffic on the navigation. This is a 12-volt power outlet there as well. And then up here, you do have your sunshade for opening and closing the sunroof. This will, the sunshade itself. This is for opening and closing the sunroof itself. The lights are all touch sensitive, so if you just tap them, they'll turn on and off. And then these buttons here are for your in-control system. So in the event that you are in a non-emergency situation, you can press this for the roadside assistance if you've blown a tire or run out of gas. In the event that you've gotten into an accident, you can access emergency services by pressing this button as well. But again, your in-control account would need to be activated by your local retailer. Thank you so much for watching. Any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section. Please do subscribe to my channel. And again, any questions, happy to answer them. Thanks so much. Have a great day.